small businesses and ensure that you add some colors to your ventures, and also be fit into the economy while growing yourself, growing the income. You should also grow the economy. My name is Charity James, and this is the Profit Point Show on Ogtv, where we talk about businesses, SMEs, trades, investment, and also look at how you can be a part of those stakeholders who are doing well in the economy. You're welcome to the Profit Point Show, which is divided into two segments. The first segment is the business review segment. We talk about tools, particularly on that segment, and we bring to you analysts who will be dissecting that tool and make it useful for you at home and on your business. The second segment is a sectorial segment focusing on skill acquisition and how to use your talents to make income for yourself. That's a setting of the Profit Point Show every week, every Thursday between 11 and 12 noon. When we come back after this break, we'll kickstart the business review segment of the Profit Point Show. This is the business review segment of the Profit Point Show, and now we want to bring to you something that interests investors. And when we talk about investors, we're talking about those who want to make use of their money and multiplying it, making it grow. And when you want to make it grow, what do you do? That is why we want to talk about building investment portfolios. And so there are ways you can follow, strategies that you should follow, and what you shouldn't do while building those investment portfolios. That is why we're bringing to you a guest, an analyst, business consultant, Damilare Oladotun, who will be talking about building investment portfolios on the business review segment of the Profit Point. I want to welcome you, Mr. Oladotun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome to the Profit Point Show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Now, when we talk about a building investment portfolio, is it just grammar, or does it have a connotation when it comes to financial world or business world?
Okay, so when you say building investment portfolio, what it means is that you're trying to put your eggs in several baskets,
okay,
where it could hatch, and you could actually have security on it. You could be sure that, okay, if not all, a good percentage of it will come back with interest. That is what it means to build business portfolio, investment portfolio. Investment portfolio.
Now, investment portfolios for investors, what exactly are they building? We know that a lot of people say, I want to invest, I want to invest. What are they investing? On what should they invest on? How long should it take them to invest? What should be the yardstick of those investments?
Okay, great question. You know, when we talk about investment, everybody just wants to dabble into it.
Yeah.
What is investment if it is not going to bring returns? Right. And what is the point of investing if you're not sure that your fund is coming back to you? Basically, since I want to believe that this is focused to SMEs and business people.
Yes.
So I would say, since we're focusing on SMEs first, for an SME, you're doing your best to raise your fund to improve and to increase your financial strength. The idea will not be to put your money where you cannot vouch that yes, this fund is coming back. Yeah, there are so many investment opportunities out there. And once people hear a crazy ROI, they jump into it. But the idea of investment building in the first instance is to be gradual. Let me use an instance. You have a leaking tap at home. You put your buckets there and you go to sleep. When the tap leaks, it's just in drops, right? normally you feel like this is not necessary, it should not create any harm. At the end of the day, by the time you wake up, you see that the bucket is half full. Or possibly you did not even fix the bucket, is probably dropping on the concrete. Over time, you see that concrete start to crack. That is the way investment should work. Not that you're opening the tap and expect the bucket to get full in a few minutes. Investment should be built gradually. So when something goes wrong, you're able to track it, you're able to make corrections, and you're able to pivot if it is necessary or progress.
So that will bring me to those investments that we do. A lot of people do within 2-3 months, and they expect the ROI to be huge, and at the end of the day they get burnt. And getting burnt, I mean, they lose their money, some lose their assets, and some even they will lose their lives in return. So how do you know ROI which is not too good for you to invest in, or what is the yardstick or the factors that you should consider when you want to make such investment or build them?
Okay, so first I would say investments with very high ROI in short period of time are as good as gamble.
Okay.
Right? Yes, there might be some, but it is usually for people that have that strength. When I mean strength, they have the fund, they could afford to lose the fund. So they basically know internally that they're taking the gamble, they're gambling, right? Just like the people that are into cryptocurrency will say when they advise you.
I was actually going there.
Yeah. Well, when they give you an advice to say, okay, try to invest in this project, they will now say this is not a financial advice.
Okay.
Do your own research. Those are the ones that really want to be fair with you. So I'm also going to say something that is going to be similar to that, to say it is not a financial advice.
Okay.
But it is sometimes better to spend your money, I mean spend it on yourself, than invest in something that looks like a Ponzi, something that you're not sure how they're getting the money back. So one of the basic rules of investment is you even need to know how the process works for you to be able to know if your money is going to come out. If somebody is telling you, if you put your money in this thing and it's going to go this way, you cannot really track it, you don't understand it. Why put your money? Because if something goes wrong, they will use a lot of grammar, right? Just like the recent one, CBEX, right? They use a lot of grammar to cap it and say, okay, this is what is going wrong with. Meanwhile, in real sense, the money is gone. But if you have full idea of what is going on, how it runs, okay, so for instance, I'm a farmer.
Okay.
When I tell you that if you put your money into, let's say, cocoa farm, the cocoa will start yielding gradually at the end of 3 years. We have those that yield at the end of 18 months right now. But let's say I just tell you it is at the end of 3 years, but it will peak, that you get to the peak by 5 years. It's something that you can actually research into. By the time it's getting near to that period, you already start seeing what's going on. You know, you can also replicate it yourself. You can talk to people, but when somebody tells you once you put your money into this platform, you don't really know how it works. So you're just taking a blind bet. You don't have an idea how your money is going to come back. So I know you're interested in me talking about cryptocurrency.
I will still take you back, because there are a lot of people who are investing digitally now, and they are not so vast in the digital trading or commerce that we have all over the world now. But some people are making a lot of money in it too, and they are calling it investment. At what point should you go into the digital trading or digital investment? What lessons should you have before going into digital investment? Because it is what everybody wants to go into now. They see it as the current gold. Yes, we are in the digital era anyway, and the people want to tap into what they think is there for them to tap into. What are the risks? What should you have before you go into digital investment?
Okay, so I'll put it this way. I won't be realistic if I say people are not getting rich with cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
But we can place it on traction. Over the years, how many people had actually lost their lives because of cryptocurrency? You know, when I started, I said that, okay, along the line, I mentioned that it is better to have your spend your money on yourself, right, than put it where you cannot be sure it's going to come back. So a lot of people have lost their lives on cryptocurrency. We have top billionaires across the world putting their money into cryptocurrency. But if you're talking of SMEs, so I said there are some high-risk investments that are not meant for SMEs. If you're in a rush to be a billionaire overnight, you should be expecting to be in a rush to crash.
Okay.
Right? You cannot be too much in a rush. So that is why I started with the model of a leaking bucket. Right. If you're going to meet any investment advisor, anyone advising you on investment, I believe that the first thing they're going to tell you is how to minimize your risk, right? Make sure that you're not too exposed. And then for SMEs, your SMEs because you are an SME because you have limited financial capacity, and the profit you're having, you're hoping to build it somewhere, to grow it somewhere. So it is always better to put it where you're sure that this fund will come back from. I mean, there are age-long investment instruments that have been tested and are still there, and people have limited problems with, but you don't see people go into it. I mean, for instance, I was talking to someone that I went into a bank branch, I wouldn't mention name, and I was asking them that I would like to subscribe to their mutual fund because I know that the bank actually provide that, right? They have an issuing house for mutual fund, and it happened that a large number of the staff do not know anything about mutual fund. They were just telling me different, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is strange, because I'm expecting that when I enter into any bank,
in a financial environment, you should.
Yeah, you should know what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I just said, okay, no problem. I think I'll go back to Lagos. That was a big shock to me. I just told the person, I think I'll go back to Lagos. I went to another bank entirely, and then the person I met with said, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm going to link you to another officer. Then this person came, and the next thing she's telling me about, yeah, we have it. Once you put your money, insurance. Like, I'm not talking about insurance. So it seems like people don't want to look into where the opportunities are really. They just want to hear that there is a fast money and they want to log into it. They want to do plug and play, right? And if you're going to be sincere with yourself, even your business, right, it was not plug and play. You put in the effort, so you cannot expect that the money you're taking out of it, you put it in somewhere to be running magic. It cannot run magic. It has to do the work. So, and I just mentioned mutual fund. My friend and one of my colleagues were talking about how our parents run business, and he mentioned that I just realized that, you know, my parents, they put in the fund into a lot of assets, land-based, right, such that when they have the money, they can easily just say, please, when they need the money, sorry, they can easily just say, hello, dispose that land, I need the money, right? But we all know that when they bought the property, right, it was cheaper. At the time they're going to need it, it is going to be more expensive, so it has appreciated. And
but that take a longer time. That is why people are going into the digital investment these days. There is bonds. There are bonds too that you can buy into and invest. There are fixed deposits too that you can do that will bring you money along the way. For so many years, you might be lucky if you trade with banks that are doing well, or companies that are doing well on their shares and all that. Don't you think we should move past the physical aspect of investing and move to the digital one of that the world is moving to right now? Or we should still stick to the olden days of investment and expect us to be in the 21st century?
Okay, that's fair. I don't want to preempt that you're pushing me towards the digital, but I'm just going to say what I know.
Okay.
Right. Because we cannot all be the same. People have whatever they are inclined to do. They would have things that they're inclined to. I would not say I'm so averse to cryptocurrency or digital investment. I've just learned to limit it.
Okay.
Right. So when Bitcoin started, for instance, I had colleagues who encouraged me to plug into it. I didn't. One of the things that I actually regretted, I didn't, because as at then it was going for like $1 and then it came down. Some of them were using it to buy, there were things like they used it to buy pizza, they just used it to do some gift card and the likes. Well, but then it happened, and most of them that actually got the Bitcoin eventually forgot the password. I mean, I had people that had about 100 Bitcoin. I had people that had 50, 20, different range. But they still forgot the password. Right. And once you forget the password, you cannot track it. So just imagine someone who has 10 Bitcoin right now. The person is undoubtedly billionaire, right? But imagine me put my money in treasury bills, for instance, or mutual fund for that number of years, about 10 years now, up to today. You cannot tell me that I forgot my password. I'm going to walk into the issuing house. I mean, if it is going to be treasury bills, I probably got it from a bank or a treasury or an issuing house. I'm going to walk in there and tell them this and this, and I have my certificate, right? So they got it, but I still had people that were able to remember the password. That is not an excuse to say yes, you should not go into it. I'm just saying that the dynamics does not really help people that do not understand what it is that cryptocurrency is about. Now, if you're so keen on investing on cryptocurrency, this would be the advice. Since you're building an investment portfolio, you should first diversify your investment and ensure that you put in whatever you are able to lose in cryptocurrency. That is the basic financial advice, because it is a high-yielding investment program, and it is high risk. You know, it is a common saying: the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So if you're looking for very high reward, you should be expecting very high risk. So whatever money you want to put in, or whatever fund you're hoping to put in into such high risk, high rewarding projects, should be good as what you could lose, so that when you lose it, you don't lose your mind, you don't lose your life. You understand? Even when we talk about people getting the traditional or the conventional ones, we don't tell them to put all your money into federal government bond. You don't tell anybody to put all your money in treasury bills or put all your money in mutual funds. I mean, you're going to have to diversify the portfolio. Okay. You're going to have a short-term investment, a medium-term investment, and a long-term investment. The same way you vary it in line of tenor, you're still going to have to vary it in line of risk. You're going to have to increase the low risk, then averagely the medium.
So how do you know the low risk and the high risk? That is why people are just afraid to go into investment when it comes to the financial aspect of it. You don't really know which one will pay off at the end of the day.
Okay, so like I said, low risk investments are the conventional ones that we know. Okay. I mean, anything crypto is high risk. Anything crypto is high risk. You should learn to limit it, right? Okay. You limit your exposure to it. Another one that would fall within a high risk investment, though it's usually medium risk, is actually buying shares without any form of knowledge. Just say that, oh, this company is selling shares and a lot of people are going into it. There's a rave in town. You just do plug and play. No form of information, no knowledge, no background is as good as high risk, because you don't know if the company has the fundamentals to back up whatever shares people are buying, right? So the low risk usually is federal government backed instruments. Okay. The treasury bills, the federal government bond, and the likes, the Sukuk bond. Now, if you're talking about maybe medium term risk, you'll be talking about commercial papers. Okay. I know a lot of people don't even know what commercial papers are.
We don't. We do not.
Okay, let's just put it in layman terms, right? Commercial paper is when a big company, right, need working capital they need money, not to buy assets, to make more product or to produce, right? It's just working capital, and they need it for a period. So they issue out a call for funding. They call it commercial paper, and they ask you to put in your fund that at the end of so month you can get it, right? And usually it's usually within a range. It's just slight variance. It's usually within a range.
Does it come with interest?
Yes.
Added money for the investor?
Yes, you definitely get money back, right? They're not using your money for free,
okay.
Right? So it could be 20% annualized, right? I have to use annualized because most times when you see commercial paper, even treasury bills, you do not hear it is annualized. So people just hear you can get 20% on your investment, you can get 80% on your investment when you put money in treasury bills, but it is annualized. What do I mean by annualized? It means that that 20% is divided into months. Yes. So if you leave your money in that project for 2 months, it will be, let's say 20%, right? That's 20% divided by 12. Yeah, so about 1.8 or something on a month. So you should have like 3.6% at the end of 2 months if you leave it there in 2 months, right? So people should understand that when they hear this percentage, especially for those low risk, it is usually annualized. Okay. Right. So if you don't know anything about commercial paper, the best thing is to read about it and read about reputable issuing houses. I wouldn't want to be the advert for anyone, but these are public information, right? You can read into it. Okay, which reputable issuing house can I go to? And if you have a good relationship with your bank, you can actually pressure them into looking for one for you. I've mentioned my experience with the bank, so I know what it could be, right? But if you have a good relationship, at the end of the day, they could say, okay, we'll do a research for you and talk to an officer, maybe at the head office, you know. So it does happen. Okay,
now let's talk about how to review. Now you have invested and you know what you need to know about those investments, and how often should you review your investment if you are making headway or you're just on a standstill while investing. So, you know, sometimes you believe that you are making money, but your money is just sitting there without the appreciable gain that you want it to come. So how do you review? What do you use in reviewing if you're making headway in your investment, or you're just there, just believing that you are investing and not making a lot of money?
Okay, so that is knowledge. That's the knowledge gap there. You cannot invest without having any expectation of what you should expect. Okay. What you should see as returns, right? So that is why when we started, you know, I was dodging the cryptocurrency thing. Yes. Because when I put my money in cryptocurrency, I cannot really say this is exactly what I'm going to get as a return. You can see that it's a major risk. At the end of the day, you could lose the money. You know, Bitcoin rose to about, I think, $150,000 this year, and now I don't know, maybe today it will be about 80-something thousand. So if you had put your money when it was 120, the hope that it will rise above 150, and now it is 80. You know, you do not expect that. It is too much of a volatility. The volatility is too high. But if you're putting your money, for instance, okay, let's not even use the general government backed or the shares, whatever. Let us use, let me say you bought a property. Okay. When I buy this property, I bought it for ₦1 million. I do not expect to sell it for ₦1 million. That is an assurance, right?
Even if you are selling almost immediately?
Yes, I cannot sell it for ₦1 million no matter what. You can see that is how to assess, to evaluate, okay, what is this investment going to bring? Because when you are doing your business as an SME, you know that when you put so amount, let's say 20,000 naira, into production, it should bring you extra 2,000 naira. So how are you now going to do an investment that you do not know exactly how much it will bring? So once you are doing an investment, you don't know. You're just gambling that hopefully it is not an investment, it is betting.
Okay.
You know, it's just like all this normal betting.
So
like,
investment should give you a peace of mind.
Yes, you should have an expectation that I'm expecting this ROI. And well, I wouldn't want anybody to ask me that kind of question, but it is possible. There are investments you could make and have a 100% ROI on.
Okay.
And sometimes it even turns out to be maybe your personal business, or maybe you just seeing an opportunity somewhere. It's possible. For instance, I've had people who bought landed properties in areas they just felt somebody just advertised to me, but I just wanted to keep the money. And at the end of the day, something just happened, and the money jumped. Like, yeah, it has happened to me. You understand? And the money just jumped. So it's possible. But realistically, we don't always advise people to look for too high yield, because when you're already focused on a yield that is very, very high, you are blinded to the holes, the pitfalls that are surrounding it, right? Then you have turned on your greed, and your rationality has been reduced. Do you understand?
I do.
So it is always good to be conservative a bit, even if you want to be aggressive in your investment.
Okay, one thing that also affects investment is inflation and economic downturn sometimes. Does it affect you building when you want to diversify? How do you ensure that inflation, the downside of the economy does not affect your investment? Can you protect your investment from inflation, interest rates, the economic downturn? How do you do that when those, you can't even predict when they will come? How do you protect your interest and protect your investment without going too down, because it will affect at the long run, but not going too down when it comes?
Okay, let me put it this way. We believe in life, there are cycles to life. Same thing with economy. You have a time of depression, doom, what do we call it now? The time where it is recovery, and then the boom. Yeah, it is a continuous cycle. Not expecting that there will be a time where things will go down economically is unrealistic. Right. Okay, so how do you now plan ahead for that? That should be the focus, not that you're not expecting it. You will expect it. How should you now plan? It's still the same thing. You know, everything I've been saying is bordered around the same thing. You have to diversify, because there are investments that do not respond to inflation or depression the way others will. They have some kind of resilience. So I was discussing with someone about a sector. For instance, we're talking about the logistics. Those were the lessons that we learned from COVID. Things were down, but logistics was moving. It was important for everybody to eat. It was important for people to get drugs. It was important for people to be moved, maybe emergency, from one place to another. So you see, logistics will have to move regardless of what. Now, fuel surged, right? That's inflation. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you would have to come to work today. You say because yesterday they sold fuel for 200 and overnight it rose to 1,000. You will not go to work.
No.
Even if you protest and say no, at the end of the day you will say, okay, I'm not going to drive my car. You have to get cab. Can you see? So if you have your investment in logistics, for instance, it means that yes, it will respond, but it would not be
a minimal effect.
Yes, because you would have to shift whatever effect inflation is having on it to the users. Same thing with food. If you like, say Gary has gone to, at the end of the day you will eat. If it is not Gary, you eat something else. So when I was advising a colleague that went into production of some chips and the likes, I told him you have to look for complementary products. So that when people start saying your chips are having this and that, I'm like, oh, you can use it with this. You can use it with this. It took him a long time to realize that, and when he eventually realized that the competitors were doing that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because the competitors saw that, okay, you cannot just have a line of product alone and then subject it to uncertainty. Yeah. So you should have other products that either complement or are even parallel. That is why you do not see big companies have just one product at the end of the day. They might start with a product. I mean, if you take, for instance, Nestle, you can think about so many things they're doing. And some of them had they are diversified into other things that are not even just consumer products. So that is investment on its own. In your business, you can make it a portfolio for yourself. You can say, okay, now I was making hair, right? Okay, now I can start selling beauty care products. So that even if people start saying, they are not coming because of purchasing power has reduced, at least they will still use beauty products. So the same way with investment, if you're putting your money in a mutual fund, at least you put some in mutual fund, put some in bond, put some in treasury bills.
And put some in real estate.
Put some in real estate, yes. Then you now feel like, no, I have this appetite for high risk and I still want to do digital, I want to do crypto. Then you now put a little in crypto. But not more than 10% of your total fund. Right. Yeah. Not more than 10% of your total fund. So when you put it, if you lose it, you know, at least whatever is coming, they can cover up.
Okay, now let's talk about the common mistakes that people do while creating their portfolios, investment portfolios. What have you seen over time that you think people are doing and you want them, especially investors or small and medium-scale enterprises who want to diversify and have their investment tied down somewhere and have their money running for them in the background? What have you seen that they have done wrongly and is affecting the economy negatively?
Affecting the economy? I think the first and the most prominent one is lack of knowledge.
Okay.
People just jump into things they don't know anything about. And they don't want to ask. Sometimes people even say, no, if I go through this agent or whatever, they're going to add their own cost. But that cost they will add is minimal to the cost of your own failure at the end of the day. Because you now see that if you had given them the money, they would have taken up the liability and do it properly because they are supposed to know it. But you have just felt like, no, I can do it myself. So knowledge is a major problem. And people are too much in a haste to jump into things they don't have full fundamental understanding of. Okay, so having laid that foundation, let me now talk about why people actually fail in investment. Lack of patience.
Okay.
I cannot wait for it to grow. I have to go to somewhere. I have to do. Recently, we noticed a movement in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You know, because of the policy that the government made that there will be withholding tax on people doing those investments, using those financial instruments, treasury bills, shares and the likes. There's going to be tax on it. A lot of people are moving their fund out of the stock exchange. Right. I don't want to mention the stock. Then we now notice that there was a bit of pushback, like it stabilized, right? The movement stabilized at a point, and someone already sold, like he sold early. Meanwhile, there are people putting orders through, like, okay, there are experts that you could actually talk to. He sold earlier, and the next day there was 10% increase in the value of the stock. But because of the fear of institutional players are moving their money out of the house, everybody just panicked. So, you know, you didn't ask for advice, you didn't ask for expert opinion, just sold. And then,
so emotions should not be played. Why?
No, you cannot put emotion into investment. Okay. You cannot put emotion into investment. That is why I mentioned greed. Greed is an emotion on its own, and once you cannot control it, it will control you, and most times it will actually put you in trouble. Emotions cannot. Even sometimes, if you're doing those kind of stock, like stock is also risky, right? You cannot put your emotions into it. You would have to learn. You would have to ask for expert opinion. And if the stock is going down, the expert can tell you, okay, based on fundamentals, it is still going to bounce back. Okay.
It's a very, very interesting topic, and we have a lot of questions to ask you, but for your segment, the time is up.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
The time is up, and we have to allow you go and for the second segment to kick in.
All right. I hope I did justice to your questions.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Larry Oladotun, for coming on the program.
Yeah,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much. And that will be all on this segment, the business review segment. When we come back after the break, we'll be having our sectorial segment. Of the Profit Point Show, and now we have another guest in the studio. We'll be talking about one particular craft that we cannot overemphasize, and that is cooking, and want to look at the crafty side of cooking. Why do you think cooking has to be crafty? Some people will say cooking is an art, some will say it is a skill, some will say it is a craft. So we want to define it from the angle of a craft this moment, and we have a guest in the house who will be doing justice to our topic, and our topic is cooking craft. Our guest is Yetunde Ayola. Good morning, Yetunde.
Good morning, ma'am.
Nice having you here.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here this morning.
I know some chefs have a very loud voice, okay. Especially where they are on duty.
Yeah.
So we need that loud voice here.
Okay, I'll try my best.
All right. Now, when we talk about cooking as a craft,
Okay.
some people do not believe that it is a craft. Some people say it is a skill. You just have to know it and have some technicalities about it, and that is all. But some people will say it is a craft because you have to go through the process of doing it. You have to know how to design some things. You have to know what color to use for something. So for you as a chef, what is, how do you define cooking? Is it a craft or a skill?
Okay. I define cooking as a craft.
Okay.
Okay, because when cooking is something that you put your emotion into, and you use basic techniques when cooking. When cooking, you have to put your emotions. There are some kind of basic techniques that you have to use when cooking. You don't just cook food just for it to be consumed alone. You cook food with the whole of your heart. Like you put your heart when cooking the food. I used to say something when cooking. I said that you make the food with love. When you make something with love, you make it with love. And it makes it more presentable when served.
Okay, let's talk about the colors that we see when we are eating, especially the green and the orange colors. Okay. Why do you think those vegetables must be added into our food? These days, a lot of chefs, a lot of caterers add a lot of vegetables these days, and they are so colorful. Why is it that colorful? Why must foods be colorful?
Okay. Number one thing in colors when it comes to food, adding of vegetables, it makes your food more presentable. It makes it look presentable when presenting the food. And also, it's also nutritious. Okay. It has nutritional values to the food.
So creativity is where I'm actually going with the colors and the vegetables. Okay. How do you carve your niche when it comes to being creative? We have a lot of cooks, we have a lot of caterers, we have even those who are not commercializing their cookings can do wonders when it comes to cooking. So why do you think creativity is the in thing that cooks or chefs or caterers must adopt when they are cooking? Why is it important?
Okay, creativity is important because people eat with their eyes first before they eat the food with their mouth. So your creativity, it makes your food look presentable, as I've said. When you are creative, you use your own style. There are different styles. You use your own style when it comes to creativity when cooking. When you use, I'll use plating for example. When you're plating your food, that's a way of serving your food. When you're plating your food, it makes the food more presentable. Even all those traditional foods, we still bring them down now, but we use different plating method for it. Let's take our amala for example. We see that our amala is a traditional food, but we still bring it down. We modernize it. We place it in a way that it looks creative. It looks creative and it looks more presentable for people.
So why is food presentation important too? Because the amala that you've spoken about, we see now in parties or some occasions that they serve it in one calabash-like plate now, and people do enjoy it when it comes with that traditional plating. So why do you think presentation of food is something that a chef must learn, and what do they learn when you are talking about food presentation? What do you teach? What do they learn, and how long does it take to learn how to present your food in a modern way?
Okay, I'll start from the how long does it take. We learn every day.
Okay.
We learn every day. Every day there are new styles. Every day there are new ways. When you go on social media today, you just see that they're already serving your normal jollof rice in another way. Okay. So we learn every day. For the presentation of food, we learn every day. That is why we have social media. You can go online, search new things, search things that people are relating with these days. So we learn every day when it comes to plating. So presentation of food is very important. It's very important because the way you present your food, it leaves a lasting impression on people that are eating your food. It leaves a lasting impression on your customers, on your clients, on people that you are serving. Your presentation really matters because some people, it's the way you package and you present your food that makes them come back to you when they want to patronize you. They'll be, oh, I love your packaging. I love your presentation. That is why I'm coming to patronize you again. Even some people, even without eating the food, as long as they see it, they already feel like, oh, this will be nice. But when you did not present your food in a very good way, some people will not even be interested. They won't be interested. They won't find it interesting. They'll be like, oh, this food is not looking good at all. Not without tasting it. Yeah.
That's why you said the food eating starts with looking,
yes, with
seeing.
Yeah,
Now let's talk about the innovations that you spoke about the other time. We have a lot of traditional delicacies now that have been that has a lot of innovative ways of making and presenting to their clients these days. So why do you think innovation is the in thing when it comes to food craft? Do you need to present food, especially the traditional ones that we already know the taste? You don't need to present it a certain way. People know how it tastes anyway. So why do you think innovation is having a stay in food craft, and why do you think chefs like you must up on it and make use of food presentation and innovation?
Okay, innovation is very important for the fact that we don't have to let go of our traditions. We still have to bring and modernize all those food we used to eat. We still have to modernize them. Let's take, okay, I'll take this Yoruba food, ekuru. I don't know if you know of ekuru. Yeah, it's made with beans. So ekuru, for instance, some people believe that ekuru is something that, oh,
too traditional.
Yes, too traditional. But there's a way you package ekuru for some people, and they'll be like, wow, is this really what it is? It's not about the taste alone. We don't have to change the taste. The taste still remains, but our packaging really matters. We don't have to leave things the way they are. So we have to innovate and change our styles.
Now let's talk about the learning aspect of this craft. How long does it take someone to learn to become a chef and learn the management of the business angle of it, and also learn how to plate? You said plating the other time. How to plate your food and make it attractive to people. Does it take a very long time?
I would say it depends on your passion for it. It depends on how much you like it. But for me, it takes a while. It takes a while.
Like how long?
Okay, it takes like, let's say a year plus, maximum of a year.
For a year, what do you teach? What are you learning for a year?
Is
it not food that everybody can cook?
Food is broad. It's not just the normal food we cook at home every day. We try new ingredients, we try new recipe, we experiment new ingredients and new recipes. So you need to know how to use different recipes. You need to learn time management. You need to learn to work in whatever environment you find yourself. So you don't have to wait till I am in a standard kitchen before I'll be able to cook. So you need to learn all those things. So it will take like a year for you to be able to learn all those things. And there is something we call, there's beginner class, you go for upgrading and the likes. The more you want to learn, the more you upgrade yourself.
So what do you teach in beginner? I'm having an interest now. What do you teach in beginner's class? Because for me, I think food should be something that you want to eat at that time. You cook it, you eat it, and you'll be okay. So why are you going to school for it?
Okay. For the beginner's class, you learn the basics.
Okay.
Just the normal basics. You know, food itself is broad. You have just our normal local food. We have continental dishes. We have snacks. When it comes to snacks, we have snacks. We have different kinds of snacks. So when you want to learn, you can't just, you put your focus on one. If you want to learn snacks first, then you can just go for it. For example, when I was learning, I learned cake first, cake and snacks, before I went into learning how to make food. So even when it comes to cake and snacks, there is basic class, that's the beginner's class. Then when you want to go for upgrading, you go for upgrading. Yes.
So everything in life needs knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge. So the way you have put it, that means different forms of food craft.
Yeah.
Which area are you based on?
I'm based on snacks and food.
And food.
Yes,
You're
local
taking
food.
You're taking two out of everything. Now let's talk about showcasing now. How do you get clients? You have taught people on how to make the food from the beginner's class to the advanced class to the continental dishes. Now they are on the business, doing the business. How do you get people to patronize you? Do you teach that too?
Okay. How to get people to patronize you? We have, let me start from, we have a lot of courses that talk about business, how to grow your business and the likes. So you can
in the food industry?
Yes, there are people that talk about how to grow your business in the food industry as well. And that's why we have the social media. You can grow your business through the social media. You do your branding. You do your branding, you grow your business through the social media. That is where you have your TikTok, your Facebook, you have to post, you have to be consistent, and your branding is very, very important. Branding is very important, and your packaging, and you have to choose your style.
Okay.
When people see your product, you know, oh, this product is for this person.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now, lastly, before you go, let's talk about how to turn this passion into business. I know that a lot of people, the starting point comes with a lot of challenges and difficulties, and so we call it mistakes for beginners. How do beginners who come into your kind of business, what do they need to do? What have you seen that beginners fall into, the pitfall they fall into, and how do you think they those coming behind should fall into it and be professional when it comes to time of making it a business?
Okay, when it comes to making cooking a business, I would say the first thing you look at is your costing. Some people, you're a beginner, you're just coming into the industry, and you want to start giving prices like that of a diversity. It's not done that way. So you have to start with your costing first. You don't have to charge too high, and you don't have to charge too low. You have to be very accurate with your costing, and at the same time as you are costing, don't cost too low so you won't run at loss. You have to calculate your profit. You have to calculate your profit very well and know how to do your costing. And also, I've said before, branding. You have to build your brand. Your packaging really matters a lot. You have to build your brand. Your packaging matters a lot. The branding is something that goes a long way, and you know how to market your business. You won't say you want to you want to monetize your cooking skill and you just keep it to yourself. You cook, you don't post it. You cook, you don't show it to people that this is what I do. You have to do your marketing very well.
Do food trends affect cooking as a craft?
I would say yes, food trends affect. There are some food trends now. Let's say, for example, now, okay, I guess there is this air fryer trend that's, yeah. Instead of frying your chicken, you can just use the air fryer. Air fryer does a lot of things. So it affects those method that we have been using before. There are some new methods that just come up that, okay, the jollof rice, so today there is this kind of jollof rice, there is this new kind of jollof rice.
And you want to try it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And does that not take away your customers who are keyed into one particular taste of your food, and that makes them come back? If you're changing the taste or changing the recipe and the way, don't you think your customers can leave and not come back?
They can.
So how do you now balance that?
Okay, to that, for you to be able to balance that, you won't, how will I put it, you won't use the new recipe for your, you let them know that, okay, there will be a change of recipe. If they are interested in the new recipe, then you can use it for them. But if they are not interested, you have to give them exactly what they want.
Okay. I want to thank you so much, Yetunde Ayola, for coming on the program and talking about cooking crafts, and we have enjoyed every bit of it. I know a lot of young people in your food industry. How do you cope with young people? Some people do not like cooking.
Yeah, there are people, I heard a lot of things like that. I don't like cooking, I don't like cooking, but I believe it's passion. When you have passion for it, you love it. You love what you have passion for.
So have you seen someone who do not like cooking but wants to make money from cooking? How do you blend that?
Someone that does not like cooking but still want to make money from cooking. That is kind of difficult because you have to love what you do. When you don't love it, it won't be, you see it as a burden. It won't be easy for you to do. All
right, thank you so much for coming. And we want to thank our viewers too for staying true to us on Ogtv and staying with the Profit Point Show. And we have had our two segments, the business review segment and the sectorial segment of the Profit Point Show. We talked about investment portfolios, and we also talked about cooking crafts. But before we leave, don't forget that you can be a part of any of our programs by placing your advert or sponsoring any of our shows on Ogtv by calling this number 0803-396-0423. That is the number to call if you want to place an advert or sponsor any of our programs. My name remains Charity James. See you again next week, God willing, and it will be time for us to have our interest in building the economy and also building our investment. We'll see you again, God willing. Bye-bye.
Do you think artificial intelligence will make scientists lazy thinkers or not? Join participants from Abeokuta Grammar School and Premier Grammar School and learn more. Make it a date with us on this Friday, 28th November 2025 at 5:30 p.m. on this station and be part of the conversation as the ongoing STEM-oriented debate competition among secondary schools in Ogun State advanced to quarterfinal stage.
You can also watch us live on all social media platforms. The program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilo, FNSE, and powered by Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch.
Make it a date with us.
Trees are an important component of our ecosystem. They perform various functions like providing oxygen, conservation of water, preserving the soil, and support wildlife. Illegal felling of trees is against the law. Anyone caught will face the wrath of the law. Also, it can lead to deforestation, which in turn contribute to global warming. Therefore, every tree felled needs to be replaced by planting another 5 in its place. Let us protect our world, stop illegal felling of trees, and plant at least 1 tree a day.
Good people of Ogun State, we have to be careful and be conscious of the increasing rate of kidnapping across the country. Security is everybody's business. We need to be vigilant. Always board vehicles at designated parks and garages. Do not ride motorcycles with strangers. Insist on a one-passenger ride. Avoid late-night movement.